Hello, this is Harry Watt, North Carolina State University Wood Products Extension. This is the National Firewood Workshop 2021. We're based in this Tennessee. We've moved the workshop around over the years. We've been to New Hampshire, New York, Maryland, North Carolina, here in Tennessee, and we're going to Wisconsin next year in June of 2022. Hope you can be there. That we plan that to be an on-site meeting with live demos, splitting firewood and showing off the equipment side of firewood, also with classroom discussions. This discussion is talking to here about a limited cash bundle business. And what we're going to talk about is the different strategies you would use if you were limited in funds, but you really had the fever to be in the bundle firewood business. And this is a workshop series that is supported by the U.S. Forest Service, Department of Agriculture through the Wood Education and Resource Center of Princeton, West Virginia. They're our financial sponsor. We also have support from the Tennessee Division of Forestry. Sawmill Magazine is our media sponsor. We have cooperation from the Virginia Division of Forestry and the North Carolina Forest Service. So I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to show what I call the limited cash startup bundle business. This is going to be a short video, and what we're trying to explain here is if you probably have more drive and get up and go and just fever for firewood, then you have a budget. Well, what are some of the strategies that might do something for you? This grant follows all the discrimination and other misbehavior policies that we don't attempt to in any way, shape, or form. But if anybody does have a complaint, this is our grant number that we have. It's funding this workshop series. And if anybody wants to contact the U.S. Department of Agriculture in Washington, the U.S. Forest Service, or the Wood Education Center in Princeton, West Virginia, you can do so directly. You can also contact North Carolina State University Extension, and I'm in the Wood Products Department as a wood product specialist. It is very common for somebody that's in the firewood business or wanting to be in the bundle business to be short of cash. It seems to be the normal thing. And trying to get bank loans is really hard to do. You would have to have a lot of collateral. Collateral is always discounted. And they would actually want to see you put up a big pile of cash before they give you their pile of cash. So one of the strategies is trying to figure out what you can eliminate spending your little pile of money on at the onset. Can you limit the purchase of property and buildings? Can you eliminate having a processor? Can you eliminate having a dry kill? Just what can you do? Well, one of the easiest options is just lease everything that you can. And, you may be able to do that. You may be able to do that as a partial. But leasing, you would make a monthly payment. And the problem is if your business fails, you may be stuck with some leases, and they do have long clauses and lots of details and fine print. One thing you can do is you can hold off the processor or buy a small processor and buy split wood from a larger person that's doing more volume. Now, if you do that, you may want to get a resplitter like the kinetic splitters, which are really fast, and just resplit the wood to be smaller because you want smaller wood to go in a bundle. You may find a local existing firewood business that has closed down and see if you can just lease the whole thing. A lot of times people that have businesses that are died want revenue somewhere and they really don't want to shut it down, so maybe they can lease it to you. You can also lease a location where there are buildings, there's a yard or maybe an office, maybe on a highway. You may be able to lease a location there so you don't have to buy one. You may find some lumber dry kilns that are idle. Now, lumber dry kilns are not firewood dry kilns. If we're trying to dry firewood in 2 days, 3 days, the lumber kilns may take 2 weeks. But if they're big kilns and there's multiple kilns and they're sitting idle, they'll still dry firewood. It just takes them longer. So what you want to do is make a list of what all you have to have and figure out how much of it you absolutely have to do at the start, what you have to purchase, what you have to lease, and also compare what you're trying to do with what your customer base needs are, whether it's brokers, retail stores, whatever. Whatever customers value, that's where you need to spend the money, and don't spend money that doesn't align with your customers. But don't spend all your money too soon, and you're so short of funds, you can't pay for fuel, you can't pay for wood, you can't pay for labor. There's a lot of cost in operating a business. And if you run out of money, who's going to be your sugar daddy that's going to bail you out? There may not be one. So one thing you want to do in your business strategy is focus on lower inventories of logs and finished goods inventory. You can't afford to put money in logs if you're going to take a long time to cut them. And you can't afford to put a lot of money in finished bundle wood if it's not moving, because practically anywhere you sell it, you're going to have to wait to get paid. You may think about accepting discounts for quick payment. And this is common. It's called factoring in the business world. But if you ship it today instead of waiting 30 days, 60 days, 90 days to get paid, whatever your terms are, you can take a discount, 2, 3, 4, 5%, whatever you negotiate, and you get paid immediately. You also have to figure out if you're going to be a seasonal seller or a year-round seller. In recent years, we've had a big demand increase for outdoor wood that has helped balance our winter sales. Many traditional firewood people only sold in the wintertime from, say, August to March, depending on where they lived and how serious the winter season was. But somehow you need to figure out how to sell year-round. You've got to get money flowing year-round if you're in the startup business and you don't have a good budget to start with. So what I wanted to cover in this one is, if you don't have a lot of money, can you get in the bundle business? The answer is maybe. It depends on how little you have and what your aspirations are. Whether you want to produce 1,000 bundles a day, 2,000 bundles a day, 3, whatever your number is, you have to have the cash to carry forward through that. And if you can keep your nose above water and rent, lease, borrow, beg, you may be able to have a successful bundle business, and I hope you do. Thank you. Do stay tuned for other videos in this series. There'll be something like 30 altogether over the 2 periods here in 2021. Thank you.